Will Stein is done as Commissioner Sankey's here to introduce him.
Monday afternoon will begin with the new head coach at the University of Kentucky, Will Stein. Will joins Kentucky after 3 seasons as offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at the University of Oregon. He also had coaching stops at Texas, Louisville, and Texas San Antonio. Will's connection to Kentucky runs deep. His father, Matt, was a player for the Wildcats in the 80s, and Will grew up spending Saturdays at Kentucky football games, dreaming about being part of the program. It's pretty cool to realize that dream in this way. He even rushed the field after Kentucky beat LSU in 2007 in triple overtime. If you want to go back to the era in which the fines were introduced for rushing the field, it was that 2006-2007 era. I think I've also confessed to the room having participated in a field rushing when Syracuse beat Nebraska when I was in graduate school at Syracuse. So we've all done wrong a time or two in fun moments. He and his wife Darby are proud parents of 2 young children, Joey and Demi. And one of the notes here is that one of Will's favorite ways to unwind is playing pickleball against his wife Darby. They've built a court at their home, and while I'm certain Will's plenty competitive, the narrative is he will tell you that his wife Darby is the most competitive in the family. Welcome to the podium, the University of Kentucky's head football coach, Will Stein.
My wife is really good at pickleball, so she's beat my butt a few times for sure. But first and foremost, thank you, Commissioner Sankey, for that introduction, for your 11 years of leadership with the SEC. You've truly set the standard for service in this ever-changing landscape of college athletics. Before I get started, I do want to recognize my wife and acknowledge her and thank her for her constant support of me throughout this wild profession and this wild life that we live. Without her, none of this is possible. There's very little, if any, balance in college football and what we do. Her sacrifices allow me to live out my dream of coaching football for a living. So thank you. I love you. I also want to thank a few people back in Lexington. First is Mitch Barnhart. Mitch recently retired after 24 years of service to UK athletics. He is a true legend and a mentor, and he built championship culture at UK. He's also the man who brought me home, back to the Bluegrass, to live out a dream. I'm forever indebted to Mitch. I want to thank President Eli Capilouto for his university leadership and his vision towards the future. Susan Lax, right here up front, she's my right hand. She's our Senior Director of Athletics, Communications, and Public Relations. 29 years with UK Athletics, 29. She's been unbelievable to me. I'm very thankful for you, Susan, and how you have been taking care of me over the last 7 months. I'm excited about the opportunity to work with Jay Batt. He's our new athletics director and CEO of Champions Blue. Jay's going to do great things for Kentucky as college athletics continue to evolve. He's going to drive revenue. I'm really, really excited about working alongside Jay. I'm thrilled to represent Big Blue Nation as head football coach. As a Kentucky native, a kid growing up going to Commonwealth Stadium to watch the Cats, this is truly a dream come true to me. I am BBN. For 18 years of my life growing up, I was a member of Big Blue Nation. My dad played at Kentucky, my mom's a graduate. To come back to the Bluegrass State, being a fan himself of Kentucky football, Kentucky athletics, it's truly surreal. You know, these first 230 days have been a complete whirlwind. I'd be lying to you if I told you anything different. But we've constructed a roster with 45 new players, and 41 of these players have started at least one game in college football. I had to hire a brand new coaching staff and recruiting personnel department while also being the offensive coordinator at Oregon through a playoff run. We built a brand new $3 million weight room, state of the art. We installed new schemes for our players. We taught them how to practice, how to meet. And we put a really big emphasis on high school recruiting for this 27 class and beyond. But this is what I signed up for, and it's been really fun navigating these waters. I'm very excited to compete in the Southeastern Conference. This is where the best players and coaches come to play football. All 16 have a top 20 hardest schedule per ESPN. All 16. They say that I'm the 4th hardest. Okay? If you want to compete against the best, you come to the SEC. You just do. It's the closest thing to the NFL. It's proven. Almost every game comes down to the last possession. Home field advantage is real in this league, and I love it. Along with me today, I brought 3 outstanding players that represent our DNA of our team. First is junior tight end Willie Rodriguez. Willie's from Covington Catholic in Northern Kentucky. Really excited about his growth over the last 6-7 months. This guy's an elite player. I think he's got the ability to be one of the best tight ends in the country. He was one of the players from last year's roster that we had to retain. It was a no-brainer. We could not afford to lose him. He can do it all. He'll be a feature player in our system. And off the field, he's committed to community service. He's a frequent visitor to Golisano Children's Hospital, UK, where he meets with kids in need, families in need of sick children. Fantastic person and player, and has an extremely bright future. Secondly, we brought junior quarterback Kenny Minchie. Kenny's from just outside Nashville in Hendersonville, Tennessee, went to Pope John Paul High School, came to us from 3 years at Notre Dame. I've been really impressed with Kenny since he got here. He's somebody that feels like he's been in our system for a long time. He's got elite processing skills, a high football IQ. He's very accurate, and he has the athletic ability to make plays with his feet. He's also a natural leader. He's got great poise, great communication skills. This will be his first starting job. He knows that, I know that, you all know that. But I know he's going to be ready because of how he prepares in the classroom and on the field. Lastly, but not least, senior safety Ty Bryant. Ty's a hometown kid right from Lexington, Kentucky. Went to Frederick Douglass High School. He was second-team All-SEC last season, led the league with 4 picks, while also making the Dean's List. He was another player from last year's team I had to keep. Do everything I can to keep Ty Bryant. He represents Kentucky football to the fullest. It is in his DNA. He's a natural leader, shows up every day, ready to work. He's almost like a coach on the field for us. It's kind of funny. Fun fact, our dads played together at Kentucky. So I don't know if that's how young I am or if that's how old maybe Ty's dad is. I don't really know. But Cisco, love him, and glad that his son plays at Kentucky as well. But Ty's got a bright football future, and when he's done with football, which hopefully he has a long career in the NFL, I'm sure he'll be out there with Media Row working in media. But I'm very excited about this team. We've laid a really strong foundation, and our players have embraced the work. The DNA that we've built within Kentucky football centers around connection. As a coaching staff, the first thing that I had to do, that we had to do, was develop a real connection with these players. A connected team is a dangerous team. They typically play the longest, the hardest, or hardest, the longest. Our guys needed to get to know each other. They had to. They needed to know that their coaches had real investment in them as people. They needed to feel a coaching staff that actually likes coaching with each other. That's huge. And they needed to feel connection to Big Blue Nation, to our fans, and see how passionate they are. I really believe we built a strong connection up to this point, and we will continue to grow together throughout the season. This is going to be a tough program. Football is the toughest game played by tough men. It's physically demanding and mentally exhausting. But guess what? Life is tough too. And the one thing I refuse to be is soft-minded. I understand, I've already accepted myself that there will be tough moments this season. There always are, in every year that I've ever coached. Our response as our team will dictate the outcomes. I cannot wait to fight adversity with this group. Our process on the field also centers around accountability. Do your job. It takes all 11 being on the same page in all 3 phases for us to maximize success. We first have to learn to not beat ourselves as a team. That's number 1. That takes elite focus and preparation. So far, our players have done a great job learning our system and our scheme and how we practice. That accountability extends to the classroom too, something I'm really proud of. Our players posted the highest team GPA in program history this past spring. In a world where we've added 45 new players to UK football, it's my job as head coach to get these players to play for the name on the front of their jersey. It's a selfish world. Our players must understand and be fully invested in sacrificing personal glory for team success. To wear the blue and white is an honor. To represent the Commonwealth and Big Blue Nation is a privilege that our players and coaches will not take for granted. My coordinators, Joe Sloan, Jay Bateman, Parker Fleming, along with my head strength and conditioning coach, Brandon Roberts, have all done a phenomenal job of instilling these DNA traits into every single player. Kentucky football has a cast of new characters, including me. What happened in the past has zero to do with the future. Our players and coaches have worked extremely hard up to this point to put a team on the field that Big Blue Nation will be proud of. It's my mission to create, develop, and maintain championship-level standards at the University of Kentucky. And like I said in my opening press conference, when I was hired, I didn't take the job to be closer to my family. I didn't take the job because my dad played at UK. I took the job to win, and to win at championship levels. Our process has to be elite from top down for that to happen. There's still tons of work ahead, but that's where you really find out what you're made of. We have 47 days until we kick off against a great opponent in Youngstown State. It's 1 p.m. in front of the best fans in college football. Inside Kroger Field, I'm excited, so excited about the 2026 Kentucky Wildcats. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
All right, thank you, Coach Stein. If you have questions, Tommy, Jalen, or Kalen will get to you. Tommy, come on up right here in the middle. Robert, right there in the middle. Straight in front of it.
Robert Cessna, the Bryan College Station Eagle. I'd like to know, what did you learn at Lake Travis to prepare you for where you're at today, and what maybe you learned about University of Texas football and maybe even Texas A&M?
Yeah, I mean, one of the great joys in my life was spending 2 years with Hank Carter at Lake Travis High School in Austin, Texas. It taught me how to call plays. I was put in a situation where they had already won 6 titles, I believe, up to that point. A coaching staff that was veteran and seasoned, that knew what winning looked like, and they took a young 28-year-old know-it-all offensive coordinator in from the University of Texas into their staff. It taught me that you can be normal and still coach football. You can have a family, you can have a life outside of football when you can. That brotherhood is still a part of the coaching world that still exists. And so I'm forever grateful for my time at Lake Travis. Obviously being a Texas high school football coach for 2 years, it truly is religion in that state. Coached at Texas for 3 seasons and never got a chance to face off against Texas A&M, but we had our state qualifying or state tournament for 7-on-7 on A&M's campus, and just remember how giant their stadium was when I went over there, and got nothing but respect for that state, the football that's played in that state, and specifically Lake Travis.
Okay, we'll stay over in that same section, right in the middle.
Jerry Humphrey III, AL.com. Coach, being one of 6 total newcomers in the SEC, what kind of separates you from the other new coaches in the conference, and what would you say is the best advice you ever got from Dan Lanning?
I mean, I can't speak on what anybody else is doing in our league. I'm really focused on us as a team, us as a program, building this thing the right way. But Dan is, one of the most consistent people I've ever been around. He's relentless in recruiting. He's a phenomenal coach. He's always growth mindset oriented, and there's a reason he's been really successful because of those attributes.
Okay, we'll go over to our right, Coach, over on the far side.
Thanks. Hey, Coach, back here, Eddie Pels with AP. A lot of people in college football look over at Indiana. They see a massive turnaround there. You can pick what you want to answer, but does it take like having a Mark Cuban come dump a bunch of money into your program to get good real fast, or what do you think the ingredients are to making a huge turnaround?
There's a lot of factors in winning and losing at this level. I can't speak on Indiana specifically in terms of their processes or who they have backing them or how they recruit or coach, but I do know facing them twice last year, they were extremely disciplined. Coach Signetti's obviously done a great job with the culture. They had the first overall pick playing quarterback for them. That helps. I think they had 8 other guys drafted, maybe 2 other guys in the first round. So you look back in the history of the winners of the national championship, they typically have the most guys drafted. Ohio State in 24 faced them. I think they had about 16 guys. Michigan the year prior had about 16. Georgia the year prior, the most. So when you have great players and you add a great culture and a coaching staff and scheme, typically good results happen.
Coach, we'll go over here on our left-hand side.
Hey, Will, Chip Brown with Horns 24/7. You had a couple transfers from Texas, C.J. Baxter and Bo Barnes. Just wanted to get your take on those two and what you think they can do to impact the program.
Sure. Well, I'm sure you know them personally as well, but both phenomenal people, number one. I've been very impressed with CJ, just from a mentality standpoint, what he's brought to our offense, a veteran leadership, a guy that's played at a really high level, obviously dealt with some injuries, but something I'm really excited about. I mean, running back is a core position on our team. The best teams I've been on have been able to run the football, and so excited about him, what he's bringing, not only on the field, but off the field. Then Bo's got, I mean, crazy talent. You know, he's got the height, weight, speed for the position. I think it's just a matter of, like, building him up, giving him belief that he can go out there and play at a high level, and been very pleased with Jay Bateman, my defensive coordinator, what he's been able to do with our backers, which is a younger core, but I think very talented. So both have done a tremendous job so far, and looking forward to see what they do for us this fall.
Coach, we'll go to our immediate right and just on the aisle.
Hey, Coach, Brad Harvey, College Sportscast. So you've had a pretty massive upgrade in talent at the offensive line, and you brought in a lot of players with a lot of starts at high-level football. Just what's your expectations for the offensive line this year?
I mean, the expectation for every position group is to play really well, but very excited about them. Very. You know, the last 3 seasons I've been fortunate to have 3 elite offensive lines with draft picks and Joe Moore Award finalists, and this group in particular is as talented as I've been around, all the way across the board. You know, we did bring in guys with a lot of experience, height, physicality, size. The big blue wall is something that is talked about constantly within our program. The legacy of Coach Schlarman, what he was able to do as a player and a coach at Kentucky, is on our walls in our building. And so to be able to run the football when it matters in November, when games are of the utmost importance, you have to have an offensive line. You know, people talk about all the quarterback play that I've been a part of the last really 4 seasons, but look at the O-lines that we've had. There's a reason why there's good quarterback play. Yes, those kids have played really well in the heat of the moment, but the offensive line has protected them, and we've been able to control the line of scrimmage running the football. So excited about Lance, Tegra, Colton, Olas, Malachi, Mark, Jordan, Max Anderson. We got a whole slew of guys up there that I feel like we can play winning football with.
Coach, we're going to go in this section right in front of me, about 3 rows back. Kirk.
Yeah. Hey, Will, Kirk Bowles from the Houston Chronicle. You mentioned the running game, how important it is in your philosophy. Do you feel like, though, it's taken a backseat to passing game as a trend in college football, and are running backs slightly devalued in the NIL market?
I definitely don't think that it's taken a backseat. I mean, you just got to watch who won it last year, right? Indiana's running the ball in the championship game. It's not like Fernando had some crazy stats. You know, Miami's got that big back and the big offensive line controlling the line of scrimmage. So I just go back to, like, what just happened. And I think we have a narrative out there that everything's about air yards and throwing it as far as you can. It's about first down success rate. You have to get first downs. Have to, right? That is critical. Points per possession is huge. Are you scoring when you have the football? That's huge. Turnover margin and explosive plays, right? Those things, to me, win and lose football games. So is the running back market devalued? I mean, the best ones in the country are making a ton of money. So I think it's a lot like the NFL. You know, you got the Ezekiel Elliott's of the world when he was making a crazy deal, or these, you know, Jahmyr Gibbs, all these like premier players in the league, they're getting paid. I mean, so are the kids playing running back in college football. You know, I had to have 5 running backs last year, and we were able to run the ball and throw the ball, and that's what I'm expecting to be able to do here at Kentucky, is be able to control the line of scrimmage, run the football, because ultimately it gets cold, and quarterbacks and receivers, you know, and get a little cold fingers, you know, you got to be able to hand the ball off. You got to be able to call and haul a run, go block it up, and go get 4 or 5 yards. You have to.
Coach, we're going to go back over here on our right-hand side on the aisle.
Hey, Will, Adam Luckett, Kentucky Sports Radio. You said you came here because you can believe you can win here. Why is that? Kentucky historically has fought against a narrative, against perception. Why do you think you can win big here?
This is going to sound like really, I think because of me, to be honest. I think because of me. I think I know what it takes. I've seen it at the highest levels. I know what it takes to recruit at this level. And you just got to believe, man. You just got to put the ball down and play. There's not really else to be said. Is it going to happen overnight? I don't know. I really don't. If I had a crystal ball, everybody in this room would be really, really rich right now. I don't. And so the best determination of if what you're doing is working is putting the ball down and playing football. And so there's going to be bumps in the road. I mentioned it in the speech. Like, I'm prepared for tough moments and tough times. I've succumbed to that in our process, right? I already do self-talk myself about, all right, how can I stay neutral? When stuff's bad, I can stay as neutral as possible and be very diplomatic in my approach. So that's why. I mean, growing up a fan is great. It is one thing, but I know the players that we can get here. I know that we can recruit north, south, and east. People come to Lexington and love it. I mean, the longer I live there, the longer I'm like, wow, this place is incredible. It's got everything that you want. Great food, great nightlife, great community, great university. It's safe. You got Big Blue Nation. It takes some TLC, and you got to go attack. You can't sit back and wait. That's one thing I refuse to do at Kentucky is the wait. And so I'm really excited about our administration, the direction that it's going. Again, I said I was so fired up that Mitch brought me here. I'm also excited about what the future holds. And so that's why I'm excited. That's why I believe. Or else I wouldn't have taken the job. I would have stayed out at Oregon and coached Dante and stayed out there.
Coach, we'll go in this center section over on the aisle.
Hey, Will, Nick Douglas with Elite Media Network. You talked about attacking early. You assembled a top 10 transfer portal class in your first month on the job. What kind of momentum does that do for you and your program, given the state of the program the last few years?
I mean, it definitely gives us momentum, obviously, for this current year. I was just really proud of our staff because, shoot, half that time during the portal, I was still in Eugene, coaching the Ducks, FaceTiming, Zooming, trying to get everything built, and we did it with a minimal staff at that time. So, I mean, I think it shows that our process works and how we recruit, how we acquire talent, how we retain talent. And it's the lifeblood of our program. We won't be anything without good players. I promise you that. The best teams I've ever been on had really good players. And so that's what we have to do at Kentucky is bring the best of the best in here and go big game fishing and not sit back and wait for somebody just to decide they want to go to Kentucky. Get them on campus 4 or 5 times, win over the parents, win the recruiting battle like we always had to do, and then go close it when we need to.
We have time for 2 more. We'll start over on our right-hand side, over here to the right. Coach, second row.
Hey, Coach. Steve Moulton, 97.7 ESPN The Zone out of Huntsville, Alabama. I wanted you to speak to the quarterback room in particular and Kenny and where do you think he is heading into the fall?
I'm very excited about Kenny. Mentioned it, that it feels like he's been in our system for a while. When we first started doing our walkthroughs and installing the offense, he just had great command, great poise. And that's something as a coach, you can't have a on-edge quarterback. Got to be very even keel. So very impressed with his football IQ, his intelligence. leadership, his poise, and ultimately the tangibles of playing the position. He's very accurate, very accurate. You know, I don't believe that we should be okay with less than 70% as a passer. I don't. Will it happen? I'm sure it will. I'm sure somebody will call me out if it doesn't happen this year for us, but that is the standard. That's the best in the country who can throw for over 70%. And when I look at him, and when I looked at him in the portal and through recruiting, I saw a guy that can be that. And so it's about getting our playmakers of football, like I mentioned, creating first downs, staying on the field, having elite points per possession, and then just let them go cut it loose, right? Just like there's going to be some ups and downs with me, first-time head coach, there'll be some ups and downs with Kenny. That's part of the learning. That's part of the growth. And we'll go to the doctor after every game and figure out what went wrong, what did we do well, and try to do what he does best on the football field.
Coach, we'll take one final one in the section in front of me, about 3/4 of the way back.
Hey, Coach. Chris Marlar, LouisianaSports.net. You hired Joe Sloan this offseason. What strengths have you seen out of him so far on the staff, and what are your expectations for his offense in year one?
Well, Joe is one of the best quarterback coaches I've ever been around. Joe and I would battle in recruiting for kids, not only at Oregon, but we were both in Conference USA together. He was at La Tech, I was at UTSA. I think he's a phenomenal teacher, especially at the quarterback position. I'm talking about mechanics, quarterback reads, protections, the whole nine. I think he's one of the best in the country. He's an elite communicator, especially for a coordinator. Communication's huge, presence, confidence that he has. I've been very impressed with. And then, I mean, the man can recruit. He can really recruit. He can move the needle. Seems to know everybody. He's already part of the mayor of Chevy Chase in Lexington. But I love him to death. I am very fired up that he's on our squad. We would talk ball the last probably 3 or 4 years in the offseason, and we just shared a lot of similar philosophical thoughts on offensive football. So he's excited to be at Kentucky, to help lead this offense, and I'm really excited about Joe.
Coach Stein, thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thank you all. Go Cats.
Kentucky head coach Will Stein for the first time here at SEC Media Days. We will break down what we just heard from him and talk Cats on the other side.